Imagine waking up one morning to discover that the fate of your entire country had been decided in a secret meeting thousands of miles away and no one told you. No be film trick. In the early 1960s, when Nigeria was just about to take its first step as an independent nation, a quiet deal hidden from most of the public shaped who would hold power. And that deal, according to records, ensured that political control tilted heavily toward one region, the North. Most Nigerians today know the official independence story, but few know how British officials in the shadows handed over the keys of the nation in a way that would tilt the balance for decades to come. If you stay with me, you will see how this wasn't a single day's trick, but a slow, careful game played for years, involving census figures, borders, and political arrangements. And by the end of this video, you will understand why the echoes of that decision still shape Nigeria today. We have all heard the version taught in schools. Britain ruled Nigeria as one country from 1914 to 1960, when we collect independence. Nationalist leaders from every region fought for freedom. Eventually, Britain peacefully handed over power to elected Nigerian leaders. That is the textbook version, a simple handover, fair and square. But here is the problem. The numbers, the documents, and the timing tell a different story. Let's rewind. In 1914, Lord Frederick Lugard, the British Governor General, joined North and South together to form one Niger. For paper, dem say na to make work easy. But behind closed doors, British colonial officers knew the two regions were completely different in economy, education, religion, and governance. The South, especially the Western and Eastern regions, had far more exposure to Western education, a stronger economy from trade, and active political movements. The North, big pass for land, but school no plenty, and lower literacy levels at that time, partly because Britain had limited missionary activity there to protect traditional and religious structures. Britain needed to protect its interests, especially access to Nigeria's agricultural resources and trade routes. They feared that if power went to the more politically active South, British influence could be challenged. But the North, still more dependent on British administration, was seen as a safer partner. Na so dem begin arrange Naija political table wey go favour North long before independence. One key move was the census figures. Population determines how many representatives each region gets in parliament. In the 1950s, census results were controversial. The 1952 to 1953 census showed the North had over half the country's population, giving it the largest share of seats in the federal parliament. Many historians have pointed out that these figures were heavily disputed, with accusations that they were inflated in favor of the North. Why it matter? Because when election land, North no need join body with anybody. Dem fit just outvote the whole South plus East put together. Na then the Constitutional Conference for London land for 1950s. Nigerian leaders from each region attended. Names like Sir Ahmadu Bello from the north, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe from the east, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo from the west. At these meetings, the British pushed for a federal system where regions had autonomy, but the central government still held key powers. And since the North would dominate the central parliament, Britain knew who would be in charge. For 1959, just before independence, Britain ran the last nationwide election. The Northern People's Congress (NPC), led by Sir Ahmadu Bello but represented in Lagos by Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, won the most seats, not because they had a majority of votes nationwide, but because the census and constituency boundaries gave them overwhelming parliamentary weight. When Nigeria became independent in October 1st, 1960, Tafawa Balewa became the Prime Minister. The British Governor General, Sir James Robinson, played a coded but sharp role. Historical accounts suggest Robinson personally advised British officials to ensure Balewa formed the first government, even before coalition talks were complete. By giving the North the parliamentary majority from the start, the British set a political tone that made regional mistrust worse. This kind one-sided table shaped politics for the First Republic and helped ginger tensions wey later cause first military coup for 1966. The coup, the counter-coup, and eventually the Nigerian Civil War all grew from a foundation where power was unevenly distributed. Even today, the shadow still dey cast. Political figures, state creation, resource allocation, and political zoning all carry traces of that original imbalance. Whether you believe it was intentional or not, the structure Britain left behind continues to shape elections, alliances, and even the way Nigerians talk about unity. And perhaps the deepest consequence, many Nigerians still don't know that independence wasn't just about lowering the flag. It was about inheriting a system designed to serve certain interests first. Now wey you don hear the gist, you fit say Naija independence na real freedom or na just change of uniform. The same game still dey run. Drop your mind for comment section. If you want more hidden African history told without the sugarcoating, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story.